Comme on a dit de Carné que c'était le quai des Brumes qui nous avait fait perdre la guerre. Enfin, écoutez, c'est une blague. Hein? À l'époque, la gauche était pacifiste. La droite ne l'était pas. La gauche était plus anti-nazie qu'anti-allemande. La droite était plus anti-allemande qu'anti-nazie. Toute la différence est là. Le slogan de l'extrême droite, c'était « La France aux Français ». Le slogan de l'extrême gauche, c'était « Les soviets partout ». Comment voulez-vous qu'on s'y retrouve? Et dans tout ça arrive le quai des Brumes avec une histoire de déserteur. Mais c'est vrai qu'il a eu des ennuis, le quai des Brumes. Parce que Front populaire ou pas, on ne rigolait pas avec l'armée française.
The same year, 1938, Carné came back home to his beloved Canal Saint-Martin, with its little bridges and its street life and its ordinary folk running in and out of the Hôtel du Nord, a landmark which still sits on amongst the skyscrapers. This time he was without Prévert, but still unhappy couples abound, like the pimp played by Jouvet and the prostitute, Arletty.
Pourquoi qu'on part pas pour Toulon? Tu t'incrustes, ça finira par faire du vilain.
Et après?
Oh, t'as pas toujours été aussi fatalitaire.
Fataliste.
Si tu veux le résultat elle-même. Pourquoi que tu l'as à la caille? On n'est pas heureux tous les deux?
Non.
T'en es sûr?
Oui.
T'aimes pas notre vie?
Tu l'aimes, toi, notre vie?
Faut bien, je m'y suis habituée. Cocarnier à part, t'es plutôt bon mec. Par terre, on se dispute, mais au lit, on s'explique. Et sur l'oreiller, on se comprend. Alors?
Alors rien, j'en ai assez. Tu saisis, je m'asphyxie. Tu saisis, je m'asphyxie.
À Toulon, il y a de l'air puisqu'il y a la mer. Tu respireras mieux.
Partout où on ira, ça sentira le pourri.
Allons à l'étranger, aux colonies.
Avec quoi?
Cette idée.
Alors ça sera partout pareil. J'ai besoin de changer l'atmosphère. Et moi, l'atmosphère, c'est toi.
C'est la première fois qu'on me traite d'atmosphère. Si je suis une atmosphère, t'es un drôle de bled. Oh là là, des types qui sont du milieu sans en être et qui crânent à cause de ce qu'ils ont été, on devrait les vider. Atmosphère, est-ce que j'ai une gueule d'atmosphère?
The neighborhood, atmosphere and all, was rebuilt exactly in the studio by the designer Alexandre Trauner.
Carné was a marvelous man, you know, to put over the execution, and we had the feeling that we are on the same longueur d'onde, on the same wave. You cannot explain everything. You must feel, you must do it apart, but it must be completed from the other side. And during my whole life, I had always this impression that we had in perfect harmony about what to do and how to do.
In some ways, the Carné-Prévert partnership should properly be called a trio, for Trauner's exact but romantic copies of already nostalgic settings were vital.
In fact, I rebuilt almost the entire set in the studio. We couldn't hold up all the traffic for shooting, and that was out of the question. But nevertheless, this is one of the few parts of Paris that's still unspoiled since the 30s. There was some talk of knocking it down, but they got some sort of defense committee together, as though they were about to blow up the Parthenon. Anyway, it seems that the Hôtel du Nord has been saved.
The doomed lovers, Jean-Pierre Aumont and Annabelle, just as Prévert might have written it, set out to kill themselves for no particular reason but a vague romantic agony.
À présent, tu peux me montrer notre cadeau?
Qu'est-ce qu'on risque?
Well, it was a difficult time because it happened during the time of Munich. And a lot of us were called in the army because the government wasn't sure until the Munich thing was signed if we were not going to have a war. So personally, of course, it didn't metaphor for Jouvet because he was too old. But I was every day waiting to be recalled in the army. And as a matter of fact, I wasn't, but several of the technicians were. So there was that, that feeling at the studio that we didn't know if we would ever be able to finish the film.
Carné finished the film, but Prévert's absence is felt. Carné's doomed lovers survive. Prévert wouldn't have been interested in bullets that didn't find their mark or gallows that were cheated. He brought an eve of war pessimism back to their partnership.
For example, we both agreed that, as Leon Blum said, Munich was a rather cowardly appeasement. Therefore, we perfectly understood, both Prévert and I, that it was only a matter of time before war broke out. And so it was in this atmosphere, for example, that we made Le Jour se lève.
Ouvrez ou sinon...
Non, je ne voudrais pas barrer vous, hein? Vous allez vous barrer aussi.
Prévert and Carné hardly needed Munich to launch them into the most baleful, the most perfectly controlled of their tragedies. But it was, you might say, their moment. The working-class hero, Gabin, honest, simple, loving, betrayed into a tragic error by malign fate. Under gross provocation, he has killed the seducer of his girlfriend. The trap is sprung.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a donc, François?
In my films, I've always tried, and perhaps that's why people have found they haven't really dated quite so badly as other films, to convey an extreme severity. Like here, a few bits of furniture, blank walls, that's the way I like it. Really, I've never aimed for an effect of gamma. Even in the Quai des Brumes, which in some ways has aged less than any of my other films, even there I let things get a bit glamorous. Whereas in Le Jour se lève, it's absolutely rigorous. You have a sense of tragedy in all its splendor, or its horror.
Trauner dressed the set to make every object count. Cigarette butts mark the passage of time. Even the teddy bear on the mantelpiece, a token of love, is soon to meet its end.
I wanted to give the feeling of being a prisoner. That's to say, sometimes Gabin walks right round the set and the camera follows him. He's shut in. Well, it got very tricky. From the moment when the cops, the police, had opened fire through the window, which we couldn't open anymore, and after they'd smashed the door, then we couldn't open that either. Well, we got them to drop a ladder from the gantry, and we all got out of the set that way. This wasn't at all to Gabin's liking. He was grumbling away, and he said, if you'll excuse the expression, when are you going to stop all this pissing around?
Quand vous aurez fini de vos petites conneries.